ಫುಲ್ ಅದ ಫುಲ್ ಟಚ್ ಅದ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಇರ್ಲಿ 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 ಇರ್ಲಿ. Good evening, everyone. Hello, am I audible? Good evening, everyone. I want this to be an interactive session. So, for those who have joined, please type GE in the comment box. GE in the comment box. So let us start the session today. As we all know, today I am here to start the live webinars which are free on human anatomy. Today is Monday, so we are starting on human anatomy. Without wasting time further, Today, we are starting with the live webinar on human anatomy. So, with the blessings of the all creator, all provider, the all preserver, the omnipresent and omnipotent, the God. These are my support systems. I'm very grateful and thankful to Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy. He was a great visionary who was 1,000 years ahead of his times. We have to remember him with each morsel of food we eat from our plate. To my teachers, Professor George Vitulkas, founder, International Academy of Classical Homeopathy, Greece, and all my teachers, our principal sir, Dr. Indrajit Shah sir, all my teachers, my gurus from Government Homeopathic Medical College, from HKI Homeopathic Medical College, and all my gurus, I give my heartfelt, feet touching pranamas to all my teachers. I express my immense gratitude to all my respected seniors, my amiable colleagues, and my friends who have supported me undoubtedly and promoted my efforts by posting on social media. And of course, definitely the most important, my beloved students, without whom these webinars would be meaningless as they are the target audience. So today's subject is human anatomy. Today's subject is human anatomy. Hope everybody have joined. Please type yes, Y in the comment box. Please type Y in the comment box. I want it to be interactive. Type Y in the comment box. So shall we start? Type Y in the comment box. Super, super, fantastic. Okay, we'll get back. So first of all, I want basically these webinars are for students, especially today is for first year students. It is not that other students should not join. It is for basically for exam going batch who have to pass in the first attempt. The main intention of conducting these webinars is that I don't want to see repeaters. I tell you in college also, I tell my students also, you should not repeat any exam. So the main intention is that you should pass in your first attempt. Okay. So all the best students. So type yes in the comment box if you're still here. Newly joined people, good evening. So shall we continue further? Type S, type Y. I want to know you are here. Type Y. Good, very good. So I'll continue. So the main idea is assessment. Okay, I want to show you what is the how assessment, that is summative assessment, which is university exam, how it is conducted. So first of all, it is the assessment summary. See, as you can see theory paper, there will be 2. Okay, theory paper will be 2. So here we will see the question paper layout. Paper 1 has general anatomy, head, face and neck, central nervous system, upper extremities and embryology, which is for 100 marks. In that, MCQs will be 10. That is 1 mark each. MCQ is multiple choice questions. SAQs, short answer questions. That is 5 marks each. It will be 8. And long answer questions, 50 marks. That is 5 questions, 10 marks each. That is first paper. Second paper is thorax, abdomen, pelvis, lower extremity in histology, which is for 100 marks. Again, you know, this is the question paper layout. Okay, clear? If it's clear, type C in the chat box. Fast. If it's clear, type C in the chat box. It's clear? Okay, very good. So next. And also you can see the weightage of topics. General anatomy is for 12 marks. Upper extremities about 27 marks. Embryology 12 marks. Head, neck and face 32 marks. CNS 17 marks in first paper. Second paper, lower extremity 27 marks. Thorax 28 marks. Abdomen, pelvis and perineum 37 marks. Histology 8 marks. So this is the distribution of marks chapter wise. Okay, so we can see in first paper, head, neck and face is 32 marks, which has highest weightage. And in second paper, abdomen, pelvis and perineum has highest weightage of 37 marks. Okay, next. And also you can see here the question paper blueprint, MCQs, multiple choice questions 10. All are compulsory, must know, from the must know priority in the content mapping. I'll show you what is must know priority. In the content mapping, you will be asked 7 marks. Okay, 7 MCQs from must know priority. Desirable to know 2 MCQs, nice to know 1 MCQ. In short answers, there will be 8 questions. All are compulsory. 6 questions out of 8 will be from must know criteria, and desirable to know 2. So nice to know is not there in this. And long answers, if we come to long answers, if we come to long answers, all are compulsory, 10 marks each. Only must know questions. There are no nice to know, there are no desirable to know. So we have to give more importance to must know questions in each chapter. So that is what I wanted to tell you. See, did you see this question paper layout? See, here you can see 20 marks is internal assessment. Okay, so overall for 400, grand total you should get 200 to pass. Okay, so 20 will be assessment. So overall here for 380 you should get 190. Correct? So we are concentrating. So Viva practical, it will be in college. So out of 200 marks, you should secure at least 90 marks from 2 theory papers. Okay, 45 each. At least that much of marks you have to secure. So that is why we'll concentrate on chapters with highest weightage. First, according to the weightage only we will go further. So first we will finish head and neck, then we'll go to upper extremity. Then in the same way, okay? So first today we'll start with head and neck. After we complete head and neck, I'll start with abdomen pelvis. Okay, because that has great weightage. After that, again, paper 1 next weightage is upper extremity, paper 2 next weightage is thorax. So we'll go that way, so that I want to cover maximum weightage syllabus, so that it will be easy for you to pass. Okay, okay, clear? Clear? Type C in the chat box. Okay, very good. Next, paper 1, head, neck and face, 32 marks. So what are the learning outcomes? These are the learning outcomes. Okay. So again here, the first SLO, this is what I was telling you. See, must know priority. So all the SLOs here have must know priority. So it can either MCQs, SAQs or LAQs can be asked. Okay. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen now? You're able to see it now? You're not able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen now? Okay. So these are the learning objectives. See, if I open the PowerPoint presentation, are you able to see the screen? Can you see the screen now? Okay. So we'll continue. So these are the learning outcomes. That is what I was telling. See, you can see these are the specific learning objectives. Okay. So these are the learning objectives. See, this is the extract from the curriculum. It is not given by me. This is given by NCH. Okay. According to CBDC. This is extracted from the curriculum. As you can see, specific competency is introduction and scalp. The learning objectives are: mention the main areas of head and neck, describe the layers of scalp, enumerate the blood and nerve supplying the scalp, describe the applied anatomy of scalp. So these are the 4 objectives which are all must know. Okay, clear? Okay, so next, so we will start with general overview of head and neck. See, all these things are taught to you in college by your teachers. Okay, this is just a revision. I'm concentrating more on assessment. I'm concentrating more on questions. Stay till the end of the class to get handwritten notes. Okay, if you stay till the end of the class, you will get handwritten notes. Okay, so as you can see, head and neck is divided into, you can see here, cranial region and facial region. Cranial region and facial region. So cranial region is divided into frontal, parietal, temporal and occipital. See, you can see here, frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital. Clear? It's clear? Type C in the chat box if it's clear. Clear? Type C. Type C or S in the chat box. Y for yes. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. So, and the facial region is made up of orbital, nasal, oral, buccal and mental. Okay, so you can see here, orbital, nasal, oral, mental and buccal region. Okay? Okay, I hope it is clear for you. It is clear? Okay, next. So these are the regions, main areas of the head. Okay, now we will see the main areas of the neck. So neck is divided by the sternocleidomastoid muscle into two triangles, the anterior triangle and the posterior triangle. Okay, so and see here you can see this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, anterior triangle, anterior triangle and posterior triangle, which you can see here. Okay, so the anterior triangle is again divided into submental, submandibular, carotid and muscular triangles. You can see submental is below the chin, submandibular is below the mandibular region. Here this is the carotid triangle where there are blood vessels, and this is the muscular triangle. Clear? Clear? Okay, it's clear. Okay, next, the posterior triangle, that is the posterior to the sternocleidomastoid muscle. It is again divided into two triangles, occipital triangle and supraclavicular triangle. You can see this is the occipital triangle and this is the supraclavicular triangle. The triangle just above the clavicle is called the supraclavicular triangle. Okay, it's clear? Okay, next. So according to the SLOs, here you can see main areas of head and neck we finished. Next is the layers of the scalp. So scalp is made up of 5 layers. It is a mnemonic scalp. Okay, S stands for skin, C stands for connective tissue, A stands for aponeurosis, L stands for loose areolar tissue, P stands for pericranium. Okay, so there are 5 layers in the scalp. S is skin. Skin is thick. It is rich in hair follicles. You know, all of you know we have more hair on our head. No, it is on the scalp. Okay, so that the hair on the head is mainly protection to the brain. So brain is the most vital organ. That is why it is most protected organ. Okay, that has a very rich, what do you say, protection with a solid, hard, bony skull, and again above skull. So see, first of all, brain, above brain there are meninges, above meninges there is skull, above skull there is scalp. So there is so much protection to the brain because it is the most vital organ in the human body, and human beings are distinguished from other animals because of the proportionate size of the brain to the human body. So only we are the most intelligent species on earth, right? That is because of our brains. So the scalp, the outermost covering of the brain, the protection is, first is skin. Skin is thick and it is rich in hair follicles, sebaceous and sweat glands. The next layer of the scalp, C, is connective tissue, which is a dense connective tissue. It is highly vascular. It contains nerves, blood vessels, and it is responsible for profuse bleeding. Okay, it is highly vascular. It is supplied richly with blood. That is why a small cut on the scalp also bleeds heavily, because it has lot of blood supply. Okay, A stands for aponeurosis, which is also called Galea aponeurotica. It is a tendinous sheet connecting frontal and occipital bellies of occipitofrontalis muscle. Okay, next is loose areolar tissue, which is called the danger area of the scalp. It allows movement of first 3 layers. These 3 layers are movable because of loose areolar tissue. Okay, this is called danger area because the emissary veins are connected to the veins of the loose areolar tissue. That is why any infection can spread via emissary veins to the meninges and the brain. Okay, P stands for pericranium, which is the periosteum of the skull bones. That is the outer covering of the skull bones. Okay, so these are the 5 layers of the scalp. This is very important. Any doubts here? Any doubts? If you have understood, type yes in the comment box or Y in the comment box. It's clear? It's clear? Okay. So next, very rich blood supply. Okay, external carotid, the branches of external carotid artery which supply the scalp are supratrochlear, superficial temporal, posterior auricular, and occipital artery. The branches of the internal carotid artery which supply the scalp are again supratrochlear artery. This is like it merges. Next is supraorbital artery. The venous drainage is the corresponding veins accompanying the arteries drain into superficial temporal vein, posterior auricular vein, and occipital vein. These veins communicate into the intracranial venous sinuses via emissary veins. That is why loose areolar tissue is called the danger area of the scalp, because these intracranial venous sinuses, like if there is infection in the scalp, it can reach the emissary veins. They reach the intracranial sinus directly through the emissary veins. Okay, this is about blood supply, nerve supply, sensory nerves, and motor nerves. So there are 4 sensory nerves anterior to auricle and 4 motor sensory nerves posterior to the auricle. Supratrochlear, supraorbital, zygomaticotemporal, and auriculotemporal. Lesser occipital, greater occipital, third occipital. So these are the sensory nerves. The motor nerve is the facial nerve. See, supratrochlear, supraorbital, zygomatic are all the branches of the fifth cranial nerve, that is the trigeminal nerve. Okay, these are the branches of the trigeminal nerve. Next, applied anatomy of scalp. So first is profuse bleeding. Due to rich vascular supply, there is profuse bleeding from the scalp. A small injury can also bleed very heavily. Okay. Next, the dense connective tissue prevents vessel retraction. That is why there is profuse bleeding. Next, gaping of wounds. If the aponeurosis is cut, wound gapes because the occipitofrontalis muscle pulls the aponeurosis. Okay, that is why there is gaping. That is, the wounds become wide. It is difficult to pull the wounds. Okay. Next, danger area of the scalp is loose areolar tissue because infection spreads via emissary veins into the intracranial sinuses. Okay. Next, black eye. So injury to the scalp, the blood can directly gravitate into the eyelids, causing black eye. Next is cephalhematoma. Subperiosteal hemorrhage limited by, this is a subperiosteal hemorrhage. It is limited by the sutures. Cephalhematoma is hemorrhage with below the periosteum. Okay, then scalp avulsion due to loose areolar tissue plane. That is what I'm telling. Wound gapes. This is the problem. Okay, so this is about applied anatomy. So see, these are the SLOs. Mention the main areas of head and neck. Describe the layers of scalp. Enumerate the blood and nerve supplies of the scalp. Describe the applied anatomy. Have we completed all the SLOs? Are all the SLOs complete? Do you feel so? So all the SLOs are complete. So hope this is clear. So now most important part, that is the assessment part. Okay. So here we start assessment. So these are the probable MCQs. Hope you are waiting for this. You can take screenshot of these. You can take screenshots of these MCQs because for each class I'll be providing 20 MCQs. See, the overall paper has only 10 MCQs, but you don't know from where they'll ask. So this is a must know. All these 4 SLOs are must know. So for only 4 SLOs, I've given 20 MCQs. So you can take a screenshot. Okay. and you can study for exam purpose. So scalp consists of how many layers? Type the correct answer in the comment box. This you already know. So the mnemonic scalp stands for skin, connective tissue, aponeurosis, loose tissue, and pericranium. So the answer is B. So see, for each MCQ, you should type answer in the comment box. Unless I see the answers, I'll not move further. Okay? Type answer in the comment box for each MCQ. So third one. There's some problem. Can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen now? Type S in the comment box if you are able to see the screen. Okay. So next, the danger area of the scalp is loose areolar tissue. Right? Skin, dense connective tissue, aponeurosis, loose areolar tissue. Because the veins, emissary veins, they are connected to emissary veins which lead into the intracranial sinuses. So next, fourth one, profuse bleeding in the scalp injuries is due to rich vascular scalp is also called Galea aponeurotica. So the supratubular artery is a branch of both external and internal, but mainly internal carotid artery. Next, occipital artery is a branch of external carotid artery. The greater occipital nerve is derived from C2, dorsal ramus. That is the sensory nerve, giving sensation to the scalp. Next, sensory supply of scalp anterior to auricle is by trigeminal nerve. I told no. 3 branches of trigeminal nerve. They give sensory supply to the scalp. Cephalohematoma occurs in the subperiosteal region. That is the answer is C. You want me to stay for a longer time? Do you want to take screenshots? You want me to repeat the MCQs? Okay. Okay. So I'll stay for 1 or 2 minutes. You can take screenshots. Okay. See. First one. If you have not taken, take screenshot. Emissary veins connect scalp to intracranial venous sinuses. The posterior triangle of the neck is bounded by sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid is the muscle which divides the neck into anterior and posterior triangles. So the muscular triangle is a division of anterior triangle. Black eye following scalp injury is due to blood tracking into eyelids or eye socket. Next, gaping of scalp wounds occurs when upper neurosis is cut because it is attached to the occipital frontalis muscle. So lesser occipital nerve arises from C2 ventral ramus. Superficial temporal artery is a branch of external carotid artery. The pericranium is periosteum of the skull. Next, scalp avulsion occurs along the loose areolar tissue, along the plane of loose areolar tissue. The motor supplied to occipitofrontalis is by facial nerve. Facial nerve supplies the scalp. Motor function of the scalp is supplied by facial nerve. Clear? All of you have taken screenshots? Okay, good, very good. Next, these are the probable SAQs. Those were MCQs. These are SAQs. So overall in the paper, you will have 8 SAQs. Okay, because all 4 SLOs are must know questions. So here we have given 10 SAQs. Okay, so for SAQs, see, I want to tell you one thing. For SAQs, you should also know how to write it in the paper, right? That is why for SAQs, I'll be providing handwritten notes. Okay, that also you can take screenshot, and that is the way it is best to present that way in your answer paper so that you will get good marks. Okay, and also remember one thing, whenever you write anatomy paper, it should be full of diagrams. Diagrams are the most important part of the anatomy paper. Okay, even if you get some 1 or 2 questions, if you are not able to find time, you put relevant diagrams and name them clearly. That will definitely fetch you marks. Okay, so SAQs. So this is the first short answer question. Enumerate the main regions of head. So these are the regions of head. These are the main regions of head and neck. Cranial and facial. So these are cranial, frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. These are cranial, ocular, auricular, nasal, oral region, oral cavity, parotid. These are facial and neck. So these are the main regions of the head and neck. Okay, see, if you write it like this, it is definitely impressive, and as soon as the person who corrects the paper, as soon as they see this, they'll give you marks. So it is so clear, easily understandable. Instead of writing paragraphs, if you write like this, it is time saving also, and it will definitely fetch you marks. Clear? You can take screenshot. So second question. Shall we move further? So second question. Name the contents of anterior triangle of the neck and triangles of the anterior triangle. So the anterior triangle of the neck lies between anterior median line and posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. You know this. This is the apex. This is the base of the anterior triangle. See the diagram. Even if you are not able to write the contents, if you just write this diagram, it will fetch you some marks. Like, instead of omitting the whole question, when you don't have when you lack time, when you don't have time in the exam, instead of omitting the whole question, roughly you can put this diagram and name the regions of the anterior triangle, so that it will, you will get some marks for the diagram. Okay, so the contents are common carotid, branches of external carotid, last from cranial nerves, glossopharyngeal, last four cranial nerves, glossopharyngeal, vagus, hypoglossal and spinal accessory. Okay, so the four triangles of anterior triangle are submandibular, submental, carotid and muscular. So these are the four triangles inside the anterior triangle of the neck. Okay, clear? So this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the medial border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So third question, list 5 layers of the scalp. It was very easy. And also, as you can see, the must know questions, like we saw, it is all cognitive, that is, it is all learning. It is all learning. So that is why it is list. So you can write this diagram. The layers of the scalp: skin, connective tissue, aponeurosis, loose areolar tissue, pericranium. Okay. Next. So why is the connective tissue clinically important? Connective tissue layer of the scalp, clinically important. Trauma or injury or any other cause. It causes collection of blood in the loose connective tissue, which causes generalized swelling, and the blood may extend anteriorly into the root of the nose and into the eyelids, which can lead to black eye. Okay, this is one of the important clinical aspects or applied anatomy of the scalp. Black eye, it can be directly asked as what is black eye. Black eye is not injury to the eye, it is a misnomer. Black eye is collection of blood into the root of the nose and eyelids because of injury to the scalp and collection of blood in the loose areolar connective tissue. Due to gravity, it comes and gets settled in the eyelids and root of the nose, which will cause black eye. Okay. Fifth one, why is loose areolar tissue called danger area? Because as I told you, the emissary veins connect the veins of this layer into the duravenous sinus, that is intracranial sinuses. Any infection spreads directly, which may lead to thrombosis, which may be fatal. The infection into the dural venous sinuses or the intracranial sinuses can be fatal. That is why loose areolar tissue of the scalp is called as the danger area of the scalp. Okay. So if you put a flow chart like this, definitely it is impressive, and definitely they can easily correlate. It will be easy for correction also. Okay, next, sixth, the arteries supplying the arteries supplying the scalp from the external carotid artery. Which are they? Superficial temporal, posterior auricular, occipital. You can see here, superficial temporal. This is superficial temporal, that is behind the ear is posterior auricular. From the occiput is occipital. These are the branches of the external carotid artery which are supplying the scalp. Next, arteries of the scalp supplying from the internal carotid artery. Arteries supplying the scalp, the branches of internal carotid artery. They are supratrochlear and supraorbital. You can see this is supratrochlear, this is supraorbital. These are the two branches of the internal carotid artery. You're not able to see the screen? You cannot see the screen? Okay. Did you take screenshots till now? Okay. Next. Eighth one, list the sensory nerves supplying the scalp anterior to the auricle, that is anterior to the external ear. So these are the 4 sensory nerves. Supratrochlear, which is a branch of frontal nerve, which is a branch of ophthalmic division of trigeminal nerve. Again, supraorbital nerve is the branch of frontal nerve, which is the ophthalmic division of trigeminal nerve. Zygomaticotemporal nerve is a branch of zygomatic nerve, which is again maxillary division of trigeminal nerve. And auriculotemporal nerve is a branch of mandibular division of the trigeminal nerve. You know trigeminal nerve, right? See, we put our fingers like this. This is the trigeminal nerve. First is the index finger, which is the frontal nerve. This is the second is the maxillary nerve. Third is the mandibular nerve. So these 3 are the branches of the trigeminal nerve. Okay. So here you can see all 3 are supplying all 3 branches are supplying the scalp, the sensory nerves. The sensation of the scalp is mainly by the trigeminal nerve from the frontal, maxillary and mandibular divisions. Okay, clear? Next question. Sensory nerves posterior to the auricle. So posterior division of great auricular nerve, lesser occipital nerve, greater occipital nerve and third occipital nerve. So these are the 4 sensory branches posterior to the auricle, that is behind the ear. Okay, so this is from cervical plexus, from dorsal ramus and C2 dorsal ramus and C3 dorsal ramus. Clear? Next, what is cephalhematoma? Mention one characteristic feature. Cephalhematoma is the collection of fluid deep to the pericranium in the area between skull and periosteum. You can see here, this is skin, aponeurosis, periosteum. So in between is cephalhematoma. Okay, because the pericranium is adherent to sutures, cephalhematoma takes shape of the bone concerned when there is a fracture of the particular bone. That is the special feature of cephalhematoma. Okay. So next, probable long answer questions. So this is a homework for you. You have to solve the long answer questions by yourself. So I've provided more than 10 long answer questions. Take screenshots of these. Okay. You solve. So see, such long answer questions are definitely asked. A patient present with scalp injury following a road traffic accident. On examination, profuse bleeding was noted with gaping of the wound. So mention the main areas of head and neck region. See, this is for 10 marks. So describe the layers of scalp, enumerate the blood and nerve supply of scalp, describe the applied anatomy of scalp. So each one of them will have 2 marks. 2.5 marks. Main areas of head and neck region, 2.5 marks. Layers of scalp, 2.5 marks. Blood and nerve supply of scalp, 2.5 marks. Applied anatomy of scalp, 2.5 marks. So you put flow charts and you write present neatly with diagrams. You will definitely get 8 to 9 marks. Clear? Next. See, here again, there is one more question. Yeah, see, it is not that all these questions will be asked. The questions can be asked like this. These are the probable questions. They can be asked like this. Okay. Young adult sustained a head injury in road, again, the same thing, road traffic accident. Mention the main areas of head, main areas of neck, subdivisions of anterior triangle, subdivisions of posterior triangle. So here again the question may change. Even though the situation is the same, the question may change. Again, each sub question will have 2.5 marks each. Okay. Next. A patient presented deep scalp laceration following trauma. The wound showed profuse bleeding and gaping. Describe layers of scalp. Mnemonic used to remember the layers. Explain why wounds bleed profusely. Explain why scalp wounds gape. See again. Okay. See, the child presented with swelling over the scalp after a fall. Children generally fall, no? The swelling did not cross suture lines. The clinician suspended cephal hematoma. So, enumerate arterial supply of the scalp. So, cephal hematoma is in the periosteal region. So, if it is just below the skin, it is not cephal hematoma. That is why the clinician suspected. So, usually, cephal hematoma is not very painful. Okay. And it is very common in children who fall very frequently. Okay, describe the venous drainage, enumerate sensory nerves and motor nerves of the scalp. So note down these questions, it will be helpful. The patient developed spreading infection over the scalp, which later showed signs of intracranial involvement. So why is this? It is called danger area. It is infection in the loose areolar tissue because emissary veins. What are emissary veins? They are the connecting veins from inside, from the intracranial space into the extracranial space. So that is why they are called emissary veins. That is, they are connection. They are connecting. That is why they are called emissary veins. So why is it called danger area? What are emissary veins? Explain the route of infection from scalp to cranial cavity. So from the emissary veins into the intracranial venous sinuses. That is the route of spread. See again, a middle-aged man presented with periorbital discoloration, that is black eye, following a scalp injury. Why? This is the question. Describe the applied anatomy of scalp. Explain the cause of black eye. What is cephal hematoma? What is scalp avulsion? So these are the questions. So this is the end of PowerPoint presentation. I'll also show you the old question papers. Okay. So this is March 2025. So can you see? This is the old question paper from the university. All of you, are you able to see? Are you able to see? Notes are not clear. Okay, next time I'll zoom in more. The question paper is also not clear. It's not visible. Question paper is not visible. Paper is visible now. Question paper is visible now. Okay, next time I'll write notes in the capital letters. Okay, so that it will be visible for you. Okay, so this is the old question paper from March 2025. Okay, so here you can see no longer answer question is asked from. This is paper 1. This is paper, sorry, this is paper 2. Wait, I'll show you paper 1. Paper 1. This is paper 1. Okay, March 2025. So here, head and neck region, no long answer question is asked. Okay, see, this is from, it is brain. One is asked from brain. You can see in the red color, it is asked from brain. Next, short answer question. See, I've told you, name the layers of scalp, explain the danger area of scalp. Can you see? That is what we did today. Okay, others we are still yet to cover. And we will see MCQs. So, from this paper, if this was your paper, you would have secured 5 marks. Then, again, this is from brain region. So, from scalp, from whatever we have covered today, this question is there. Are you able to see? It is. I have changed the color to red. Name the layers of scalp. Explain dangerous area of scalp. Okay. Next, we will see next paper. See, this is September 2025. September 2025. Are you able to see now? No. Are you able to see now? Can you see now? See, name the triangles of neck, describe carotid triangle under following headings for 10 marks. Boundaries, contents, applied anatomy. Okay, today's this one. This is again from neck. And this is again brain. So we have still not covered. So again, so this is one more paper. Can you see this? This is August 2024. So first batch CBDC. Okay. So these are the questions. Here again, head, neck and scalp. Main areas of head and neck and scalp is not asked. So out of three papers, you're not able to see the question paper. Okay. So this was today's session. How was today's session? You please type in the comment box. Please type any or whatever doubts you have in the comment box. I'll clear those doubts in the next class. And please continue attending the live sessions for more such informative sessions. Okay. So I'll make it a point. I'll make it a point to make notes in capital letters from next time. Okay, that was your problem. So I will make it in capital letters. You are not able to see. And please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Good night. Good night, all of you.